YouTube, it's WrestleMania season time. You know that music that we hear, that cheesy. Okay. Yeah, so now I told you the Nerd Coalition is going to give you guys retro reviews. We finally starting the retro reviews, and I know that great opening music you guys heard. So why not start off WrestleMania, the celebration of WrestleMania month, whatever you want to call it, with reviewing some retro WrestleManias, some that we really enjoyed, some that we fucking hated, and some that were just So, each WrestleMania review I do, I'm going to bring a special guest on, and of course, it's my close special guest who's almost always on the show, who always helps me out when I am down, is not Deion Sanders, but Primetime.
What's up?
You sounding all right over there?
Yeah, just a little crack in the voice. That's it.
Well, it's gonna be a crack in the voice when we are doing big time, and yes, since WWE was just recently in Chi-Town, you know, the home of CM Punk. But let's go before CM Punk, before he was actually in the wrestling ring, and he was, you know, John Cena's hitman, quote unquote. We're going to review WrestleMania.
Like all those dudes were.
I know.
All those dudes were like wrestlers.
Yes. We are going to review WrestleMania 22. And believe it or not, this is one of my personal favorites. It is a clusterfuck. And it is not the greatest WrestleMania. I'm aware of that. But it's one of my personal favorites. Or you can call it a guilty pleasure. However you want to, you know, go about saying it. Primetime, before we get into it, how do you feel about WrestleMania 22?
I thought it was an alright show. I mean, I didn't think it was the best or the worst. You know, some matches that I really liked, but you know, we'll get to those certain matches later.
Understand. So I guess without any further ado, let's just get right on into it, shall we? Okay. See, back in the day, you know, 2006, I was in college. Okay, so back in the day, you know, we are now still in the ruthless aggression era, but you can tell WWE is weaning their way into the PG era. But that's later on in 2006. But before, you know, the pre-show matches weren't really that big on WrestleMania because there really weren't none. But back then they had a battle royal, which is just a simple battle royal. Which, by the way, the pajama-wearing Viscera won. Nelson Frazier, rest in peace.
Why you had to say pajama-wearing, man?
Because, you know, that was the world's largest love machine. Viscera.
Trish, come over here and get that look.
Yeah, give me that nip. So, yeah, Viscera was cut a little rug back then. So, he won the battle royal. Nobody cared about the pre-show back then. Because back then it was the dark match. The pre-show was just, you know, them talking about WrestleMania. So we have an 11-match WrestleMania card. 11 matches. And you know what? What better way to start off with openers back in the day when openers was actually kind of like openers? When it was the Big Show and Kane. Remember that tag team?
Yeah, they wanted us to remember. They brought them back, remember? And they wanted it again.
And why? Versus Carlito and the Masterpiece, Chris Masters. Hey,
I don't even know why.
I don't know why that was a team. I don't even know why it was a team for that long. And on top of that, I can't lie, I was a fan of the Masterpiece. His entrance was great. Him doing, you know, the Masterpiece poses. I enjoyed anything about the Masterpiece, but yet he was green as grass, wasn't he?
I liked him too. He kind of reminded me of Lex Luger.
Damn, don't disrespect Lex Luger like that, okay?
I'm talking about the entrance, man. The entrance.
Oh, the entrance. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Man, Lex Luger had mirrors, okay? He had the mirrors. So this match was what expected to be a simple tag match. Big Show botching, falling into the turnbuckle, exposed. Kane doing an outside dive clothesline to Carlito Chris Masters. They basically got trashed here. Big Show picks up Carlito by the hair, and Chris Masters tries to do like they botched the finish a little bit, and he tries to do a double axe handle off the top rope. Kane hits a chokeslam on Carlito, 1, 2, 3, and they retain the World Tag Team Champions. Your thoughts?
There's no way you want me to believe that Carlito and Chris Masters can defeat the Big Show and Kane.
I'm surprised they got a WrestleMania spot. Let's go back to that. I'm surprised they got a WrestleMania spot. But they did anyway.
These days.
So, Chris Jericho was so successful in making his Money in the Bank match last year, they said, well, why don't we do it again this year? And since we are in the brand split, because last year it was a Raw exclusive match at WrestleMania 21 Goes Hollywood. This year, it is 3 Raw guys versus 3 SmackDown guys. And the Raw guys represent RVD, Shelton Benjamin, and Ric Flair. SmackDown being the side of Finlay, Matt Hardy, and Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley was green, but he was coming into his first WrestleMania, and he had that back and forth rivalry with Finlay. Vince enjoyed Bobby Lashley. If we review WrestleMania 23, I will get we'll go all into that. And but we have the Money in the Bank ladder match, the second one. Were you excited about having a second Money in the Bank ladder match prior time?
I actually enjoyed it.
You enjoyed it better than the first one?
Huh?
Did you enjoy it better than the first one?
I'm not sure. Because, the certain person that we should not name gave himself a seizure, looked like. But, yeah.
Who can we not name in this match? Oh, you talking about in the first one? Match. Oh, yeah. Chris. Yeah, I got you. Okay, well. So, of course, Shelton Benjamin does a helo dive in the first one, so he has to up the ante and run up the ladder and do one. Go ahead.
After all the years, how come he never won one?
He didn't win not one. He should have won.
How many has he been in? It had to be more than 4.
Oh, please. Shelton Benjamin has been in there. And honestly, if anybody should have won, this should have been his year to win. Because looking at the other years that he was in, hopefully if we get to any of those other reviews we'll talk about, he should have.
CM Punk was in, I think he could have won one of those too.
He could have won one of them. He could have won one of those. I agree with you on that one. But RVD was kind of hot. But so there were a couple good spots in here. I really came in here thinking Ric Flair was going to win this match when I was in college.
I don't know why.
I really came here. I was like, yo, Ric Flair is going to come in here and he's going to win, and he is going to become 17-time world champion. And then Triple H is going to
can get you that far.
And Triple H is going to beat him the next night. I had a feeling that was going to happen, but because he just came off that awesome Last Man Standing match with Triple H at Survivor Series in 2005 a couple months ago. It was just I felt as though it was in the cards for Rick. Matt Hardy, I felt as though wasn't ready yet, because if they had pulled the plug on Jeff Hardy, they weren't gonna pull the plug on Matt Hardy, and it's not you're dying over there.
No, I'm good.
Okay, because it sounds like you caught up that opportunity like Bobby Lashley did, because he was too scared to climb the ladder.
I would be too. He kind of a big dude.
Yeah, but big army kind of guy, and there's a nice spot where even though Bobby Lashley's only on the second or maybe third step of the ladder, and Van Terminator from RVD came out of nowhere, nice spot. RVD tried to do a 5-star frog splash to Finlay, but it ended up being a splash because Finlay moved too close to the ladder.
I cannot believe Ric Flair actually took that spot.
Yes, Ric Flair took a superplex from Matt Hardy, and he injured his leg. But then he goes to the back, he comes back out. Ric Flair comes down, hobbling to the ring, just chopping and and everybody all over the place. And they are selling this out. Bitches going over the ring. Matt Hardy's falling down, and he climbs up, and then Finlay comes up with the shillelagh. Remember the shillelagh?
Man, that was the thing I love/hated from Finlay.
The shillelagh?
Yeah.
Oh man, I love that shillelagh. And
I love/hated it because sometimes when he used it was unnecessary.
Understand. Right. So, with that being said, he falls down, and then we go back to what we're supposed to do, and that's RVD who I believe not. Shelton Benjamin comes up with a nice Spider-Man move from the bounce off the ropes into the ladder, and starts beating up RVD, but then he gets knocked off the ladder. RVD wins the Money in the Bank for second year in a row. Were you sold on RVD when this first happened? I'm not talking about, of course, knowing what you know now, but when he first won it, was you sold on RVD?
When he first won it, out of all the people in the match, it was like RVD. Yeah, we'll give him a chance. It's more like giving him a chance.
I wasn't sold on RVD because I know what happened in RVD in 2002 with Triple H, and I figured if you're on Raw and the title was seen in Triple H is on Raw, you're not going anywhere.
Well,
what little did we know in the year 2006, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, match number 3.
Bring that time back.
Yes, we do. Match number 3, we get JBL versus Crispin for the WWE United States Championship. Solid matchup here. Nice, I think German suplex from the top rope. Crispin did, and but JBL comes up with the win to beat Crispin Wild. Well, I said it from the match. Okay. So, what'd you think of this matchup?
I thought it was a straight, solid match. You know, they may have had a little bit of, blunders, but now, I thought it was all right to me.
This match in today's WWE would have been a pre-show match.
Well, yeah, of course, but most of these matches would have been a pre-show match. Big Show and Carlito. Big Show.
Yes, that would have been a pre-show match too. Like most of these things would have been a pre-show match. And don't worry, we get into more pre-show matches as well. But in my personal opinion, the highlight of WrestleMania 22 and the greatest hardcore match ever produced in WWE was
Edge and Mick Foley.
Edge versus Mick Foley. And for people who don't know, Edge was in a rivalry with John Cena, and he felt as though Mick Foley screwed him over at the Royal Rumble. He wanted his retribution to Mick, and he challenged him to a match, and Mick Foley said, we can have a match, but it's going to be under some hardcore rules. And
that's going to be a hardcore match. Nah, that don't even sound safe.
It don't even sound safe, Teddy. It don't even sound safe, Teddy. This ain't Armageddon. It ain't still sound safe, Teddy. Now, I have to say, this match was creative. This match was brutal, and we seen some ECW spots that we don't see. I mean, let's just go about.
I did like the spear when he had the barbed wire.
Yes, he wrapped himself. He had 2 flannels on that day, and wrapped himself in the barbed wire. Edge hits the spear, and I was like, "Whoa, wasn't that creative?" I mean, the only person ever did that.
Smart.
The only person ever did that before was like Bret Hart with the steel plate for Goldberg in WCW. And
that's the one you told me about, right?
Yes, you gotta see that. You gotta see that. And then, guys, if you guys are hearing a jackhammer outside my house, I do apologize. We have a leak and we are trying to get it fixed. Don't know why they're doing this stuff at this time of night when we're recording it, because it's supposed to come tomorrow morning. But I do apologize if you guys hear that. Can you hear that?
Oh, I hear it now that you said something.
Yeah, damn, my bad. So we're going to try to work over it. Actually, hold on. I'm going to try to move the mic away from the window. So give me a second. All right, can you hear me, Dan Part-Time?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the thing. Damn, my apologies. Okay, so yeah, I like the bacon sheet. Hit. There was some brutal shots. The little hip toss into the steel. Into the steel steps, but Mick Foley and them thumbtacks though.
You get a Mick Foley hardcore match, you gotta get thumbtacks.
You gotta get the thumbtacks, but you know what?
Either thumbtacks or an excessive amount of blood.
Exactly, or Barbie. And Barbie did make an appearance there, but Mick Foley hits the thumbtacks, and I'm just like, oh my god, here we go, Mick Foley.
Hold on, I thought she did.
Who?
I thought they. No, I'm thinking of something else.
Mick Foley did get the thumbtacks out.
I thought he did have the barbed wire back.
He did. I said he had it.
Oh, I thought you said he didn't. I was about to say.
No. He had Barbie, and it was great to see Edge take that spot, because Randy Orton took that spot 2 years earlier, and I see Mick Foley was not doing a lot of thumbtack spots later in his career, and other people was willing to take them, such as Randy Orton, Edge, and Ric Flair later on that year.
Yeah, there was like that was honored.
Yeah, I guess that thumbtack spot. No matter what you try, it hurts like hell. So,
especially them nerves.
Yeah, and then he brings out Barbie. He just dives on Edge's head with Barbie. He starts raking his forehead and all that stuff. It's just amazing sight to see. Lita, on the other hand, the table pulls out. She gets the lighter fluid. And even Edge, towards the beginning of the match, tried to douse McFoley in lighter fluid. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, there's no way they're going to do a fire spot at WrestleMania. Well, shit, was I wrong. Lita hits that fire spot. Lita sets the table on fire. Also, McFoley, by the way, Lita's on his, she gets one thing at a time. She gets on his neck and he does that clothesline where he flies over the ropes and she fell right on her, butt. I'm surprised she didn't jam her tailbone or break her spine or anything of that nature.
That hurt me.
Yeah, that hurt. The mandible claw with the barbed wire and how Lita was bleeding from the mouth. I was just like, oh, that was a decent ass spot. But it's that she hits McFoley in the balls with Barbie. That hurts. I don't care what kind of cup you got on. You still gotta feel around that thigh meat. You know what I'm saying? And Edge comes out of nowhere and spears McFoley through the ropes, right through the fire, and you see the burns on McFoley. I was so shocked that they did that spot. Holy shit, chants come out. Edge pins McFoley. 1, 2, 3. Prime time.
I got some things to say.
You got some things to say it.
I'm glad that the fire went out immediately.
Yeah.
And they have to use the fire extinguisher. And I like how Edge sold it. Like he felt like he was about to have a seizure or something.
Oh yeah, and first of all, that blood was right in his eye too. Like, I know how I react when sweat gets in my eye, but when blood get in my eye, I'm just like, ah, you know what I'm saying? I don't like any of that. So Edge picks up the win here. Awesome match. I think it was one of the greatest hardcore matches in WrestleMania history because obviously Brock Lesnar and Dean Ambrose can't top that shit.
Sure can't.
I really do hope that they give Dean Ambrose another chance this year at WrestleMania 33 to make up for what happened last year, but I don't know.
With Ambrose and Baron Corbin?
Yeah, I kind of hope that they give him...
That could happen because of, that spot. But.
Yeah, but, so that was the match. And moving on, we get another pre-show match. Because actually, I thought it was funny, though, but we get another pre-show match. Booker T and Sharmell. Yes, I said this right. Man. Booker T and Sharmell versus the Boogeyman. First of all, Booker T gets scared of his own pyro. Booker T is the only one that sold this, that made this guy look good. I feel bad that Booker T never really got that WrestleMania moment like he deserved.
Well, Booker T kind of had himself in some bad predicaments.
Say what?
He kind of had himself in some bad predicaments at WrestleMania.
Yes, he has. Yes, he absolutely has. But and we all know that Booker T did not want to go face the Boogeyman, and he was telling Tay Long he was injured, and he was back there percolating, and then the Boogeyman came up with the towel. He all runs out. Booker T sold that. Booker T is very entertaining. This match is nothing really to talk about. The match only lasted 3 minutes or 4 minutes, whereas Boogeyman kisses Sharmell with the worms. Disgusting. And she freaks out, and Booker T gets this terrible double hand choke slam by Boogeyman. I'm mad he put the Boogeyman over. The Boogeyman could not wrestle at all. The Boogeyman kept getting gassed. I was like, the Boogeyman is terrible.
Booker T, brother, he was like, I gotta help a brother out.
Okay, you know what? Well, fuck that brother. You can't help every brother out. You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying.
He should never lied doing Tough Enough.
Just saying. And
I'm just saying, and the Boogeyman, I never liked Boogeyman as anything. The character, I was like, okay, but it was just like, it was new generation-y.
So if you think somebody had the Boogeyman character and they could wrestle, it'll be better.
No, I think if they could wrestle at the Boogeyman character, they would have been as great as Max Moon was in 1992.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But this is what next up. This is what women inspired to be at WrestleMania. This is what we need more of, and that is one-on-one matches. And one-on-one women's title match that got time, by the way. Mickie James versus Trish Stratus. Mickie James was the crazy lesbian fangirl.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, you said what?
V-Lick.
You said D-Lick.
The V-Lick.
Oh, man, we will get to the V-Lick. We will get to that pussy lick in a minute. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, she had lesbian feelings for Mickie James, for Trish Stratus, and she thought that Trish Stratus paid too much attention to Ashley. By the way, I hated Ashley when she was in here. And
you say that a lot.
Yes, I hate Ashley. I did love that segment they did on Raw before, where that she had Ashley wrapped up in the gift, and she knocked Mickie James out, that she kissed her, and the blood's going all in the Trish Stratus' mouth. I was just like, ooh, that is so disgustingly satisfying. You know what I'm saying? It's like, picking a scab or watching people get their ears clean. It's like disgustingly satisfying.
They said picking a scab. Sometimes picking a scab.
Yeah, you pick a scab, it's like, oh my god, that's gross, but I gotta look because I'm satisfied. It's like I kind of want to see it. Yeah, it's disgustingly satisfying. So seeing her kiss Trish Stratus and the blood going to her mouth, I was just like, oh my god, this is disgustingly for some weird turning me on. You know what I'm saying? hey, it's okay to admit that. You know what I'm saying? It was 12 years ago, or 11 years ago.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. Now the match is very competitive. These women get about 10 minutes to go out there and do their thing, and I enjoyed it. Mickie James is hot on the scene. She just came earlier this year. See, back when they actually had women that they could put their trust in, they came in earlier in the year and just said, hey, we're going to put you in a one-on-one title match at WrestleMania. But nowadays, we got to have everybody involved. You know what I'm saying? Well, that sucks.
Well, these days, they don't want to offend anybody.
Yeah.
You can't wrestle, so you can't be on the show,
Yeah, well, we ain't got time for all that. So, there now with Primetime is bringing up that V-Lick. There's a time where Mickie James grabs a handful. You gotta say it like Vince too, like a handful.
Yeah, get in there.
Yeah, I'm saying a handful of grapefruits. You know what I'm saying? But she grabbed a handful of that puss, a handful of Trish Stratus puss. And she come up, and the Trish Stratus like, because she better go for the, that Trish Stratus bulldog that she did her finishing move, and then
what is it? The Stratus faction?
Yeah, the Stratus faction or Stratus faction. Then Mickie James takes her fingers and splits them between, and people watch porn stuff like that, and she licks it between the V, obviously, to symbolize, I'm eating that pussy out. Whoa. WWE took it there, and I'll tell you right now, if you find a DVD on WrestleMania 22, that part is cut out.
Yeah, I think that's the one of the whole things that's banned from everything.
The only way you can see that is what I used to do back in the day. I used to record WrestleMania every time I ordered it.
But is that even on the network?
That's on the network.
Well, of course.
It's on the network.
All the crisp parts.
Yeah, it's on the network. The only time is if you recorded it when it was on pay-per-view, or you got some of the early edition pay-per-view DVDs. If you didn't get any of the early edition DVDs, it's not on there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my cousin got one because he recorded everything.
Yeah, so if y'all want to go back and see that, so that Mickie James gives her the original Nikki Bella elbow to the face, knocking her out, but since Mickie James worked on the leg, she hits her right in the leg, then steals Trish Stratus's mick kick, because Trish Stratus used to have the Stratus kick, or I forgot she called it, the chick kick. Remember the chick kick?
Yeah.
But Mickie James stole that move and pinned Trish Stratus 1, 2, 3 and beat her with her own move. So Mickie James is your new women's champion. What are your thoughts on this match, Primetime?
I thought it was an alright match. I like Trish. Mickie was early in her career. Turned out to be pretty good.
I made you say it alright. Was this alright to you?
What, the match?
Yeah.
No, the match was good. I'm just, I gotta put it in simplified terms. But yeah, the match was good.
Simplified terms. I made you say that.
Some people say, some people out there say it was an alright match. That was preposterous.
That's it. Well, I thought that match was swell. You know what I'm saying?
Swell.
Like gee golly, man, I thought it was swell. Like I watched Leave It to Beaver earlier. Okay, so we're not done with WrestleMania yet because any other WrestleMania, I'm like, okay, well the card is over, but no. Next up, we have the world's strongest man trying to defeat the streak of the Undertaker in a casket match. At this time, Undertaker's 13-0.
At this time, Mark Henry's about 400.
Yeah, at this time, Mark Henry's a little bit younger, a little bit smaller, but yet worse of a wrestler.
Yeah, he's not seasoned yet.
And of course, it was a dead giveaway when the casket was like 6 feet deep. When the casket came out, and it was like, oh snap, that's a huge casket. That's like that casket they had at the Royal Rumble of 1998 where Kane burned it.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I'm sitting here, I'm telling you, that was just like, what the fuck? Like I knew Mark Henry was not going to win this match. If this was the Hall of Pain Mark Henry, I really think that Vince would have gave him the streak, and that Mark Henry could have ran with that.
Oh, if it was a Hall of Pain, yeah, he could have used that.
Well, didn't work out here. The cool spots are Undertaker's doing his leap above the ropes. God, how I missed that he can still do that. Goes right on to Mark Henry, and then rolls him in there and picks up Mark Henry's 400-pound ass and tombstones him.
Yeah, I would be scared if I was Henry.
Yeah, they got Mark Henry still had the plaits back there. I'm like, you need some cushion on that head. And Undertaker held him up and tombstone Mark Henry, and 1, 2, 3, rolls him into the casket, and then it's over. Undertaker remains undefeated at WrestleMania.
Okay.
I mean, remember saying that Undertaker's undefeated at WrestleMania?
Yeah, I remember saying that up until a few years ago.
Yeah, so
but
it slightly hurts a little bit. Well, so Pronto, your thoughts on this match?
I was surprised at the finish. I wasn't surprised that he lost. I was just surprised that he gave him a tombstone, because what's the biggest person Undertaker lifted? Was the Big Show, and that's for a choke slam. So
no, Big Show always jumps for that choke slam. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm saying that don't count. So he actually picked up Mark Henry and gave him a tombstone.
I think if Big Show's pick up Mark Henry right now, they both die.
Mark Henry was more than Big Show, so.
Well, right now he do, but Undertaker's still weaker.
Oh yeah, I understand. Yeah, I
understand. He barely picked up Roman Reigns,
Roman Reigns had to sell that.
Yep. Okay, so we get a backstage promo of Vince McMahon. Well, actually, this is before this match happened, but I'm gonna say it now. Vince McMahon is praying with his family, and Vince is looking orange as hell. My man is tanned all the way up. Stephanie is pregnant. Shane gets down, and Linda gets down, and he prays to the Lord above that he is going to send Shawn Michaels straight to hell. You're going to send your golden boy straight to hell. All in God's name. Amen. Vince is crazy as hell. Because, as we know, Shawn at this time.
A match against God,
yeah, because Shawn came back in 2002, and we all know that Shawn Michaels is a born-again Christian. So, and I guess now this is they were really testing it. And, Vince made Shawn kiss his ass and all types of other things and threw urine in his face. So, Shawn Michaels has been fed up with it. And it's time for a no-holds-barred match between Shawn Michaels and Vince McMahon. And I'm telling you right now, Shawn Michaels said, you're not going to get the HBK from, 2000 and 2006. You're not even going to get the HBK from 1996. No, you're going to go to a man that, he's tapped into a place that he does not like to go. And he lets Vince McMahon know that an ass kicking is coming. And I'm telling you right now, in this matchup, that's what happened. The ass kicking came. until the Spirit Squad came out and gave Shawn Michaels a high spirit. You know, by the way, that was Dolph Ziggler and Kenny Dykstra, people.
Yeah, whatever happened to Kenny Dykstra?
Oh, yo, he was just on Smackdown a couple months ago.
Yeah, but he wasn't. That's different.
No, it will never be different. Shane, you know, tries to handcuff Shawn Michaels and hit him with a kendo stick, but then Shawn fights out of it. Vince McMahon tries to make Shawn kiss his ass again, but then he makes Shane kiss his ass. What goes on in the McMahon family house? Shawn Michaels puts Vince on a table with a trash can over his head, and he pulls out a 20+ foot ladder and gives the DX chops and jumps. You know how high that jump is?
I'm pretty sure I know how high it is.
That jump is so high, and I'm like, I'm scared, and Vince McMahon just has to sit there and wait for it.
Like, yeah, he don't know when it's coming.
He don't know when it's coming unless he hears the crowd go like, "Oh my god!" and then that's what happens.
Well, yeah.
And then after that, Shawn Michaels grabs his beater and says, "I'm going to kick your teeth right down your throat." And then he goes, winds it up, and sweet chin music the fuck out of Vince. 1, 2, 3. Shawn Michaels beats Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon gets put on a stretcher and gets rolled to the back, holding up the Austin middle finger from '98. Prime Time, your thoughts on this match? What is going on?
My bad. Okay, so first of all, I was like, how many hardcore matches has Vince been in at WrestleMania? Is it only 2?
How many matches Vince been in Wrestlemania?
No, like a hardcore match. Was it only Hogan?
Well, he had the match with Shane at WrestleMania 17.
Yeah, Shane too.
He had this match.
Okay.
He had the match with Bret Hart at WrestleMania 26.
I forgot that was even. I forgot about that one.
Okay. Yeah, those are probably the only ones. Yeah, that Vince McMahon has been a part of.
He just loved them street fights, huh? But I just had to ask because he goes through a lot when he goes through a lot because he never really gets any offense in. Basically, he has a WrestleMania match just to lose. So.
Oh yeah, Vince. In any one of Vince McMahon's matches, he just did there to be a spot monkey.
Yeah, he was like, "You want to suplex me? Go ahead."
Well, Shawn whooped his ass from pillar to post in this matchup, and then moving on to a match with this is what made me pissed, because up until then, the winner of the Royal Rumble goes on to WrestleMania. I was
gonna say that.
And main events the show, right, Prime Time?
All right.
Okay, so that's what they're supposed to do. However, this don't happen. This don't happen at all. Next matchup is the triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton versus Kurt Angle. Rey Mysterio won the Royal Rumble, and Randy Orton beat Rey Mysterio at No Way Out by cheating. So Teddy Long decides, we're going to make it a triple threat match, players.
Holla.
Yeah, so we make it a triple threat match, and they get rushed off because we have to make room for the Tori Wilson, Candice Michelle, Playboy pillow fight, which in reality should have been a pre-show match or canceled off the card regardless.
Hey, they got that male audience.
Yeah, because back then that's what the women was like, I can't. So to get that out the way, I didn't care about the pillow fight. The match sucked. They didn't sell anything for me. All they did was just meant to look sexy.
Duh.
but the World Heavyweight Championship match. So, and by the way, they had to call it the World Champion because Rey Mysterio was obviously not a heavyweight.
Yeah.
So, couple great spots. That triple German suplex was nice.
Always nice.
Kurt Angle being dominant throughout the matchup. Rey Mysterio
slipped on the 619.
Yes. Rey Mysterio hits that springboard Hurricane Rana on Randy Orton and pins him 1, 2, 3. And the match was over relatively quickly. They didn't have a time they didn't have enough time to tell a good story in the matchup because they had to make room for that Playboy shit. So, Rey Mysterio is your new champion. He, by the way, forgot to mention, he does come out in the whole special entrance with his special music, Booyaka Booyaka.
POD. That's the theme song I hated the most.
Yeah, and he comes out in like these feathers and Native American tribal stuff. I'm just like, well, he's winning. So, your thoughts on Rey Mysterio capturing the heavyweight championship and Vicky and Chavo Guerrero coming out and congratulating him?
Honestly, not to be mean or anything, but they basically just did it because of Eddie.
Yes, they only did it because Eddie Guerrero passed away.
The only reason. But I guess that's a good sin out. They like to do that for people now and then.
But it still was a terrible title reign. They didn't give him the main event spot at WrestleMania, and he should have had it because he won the Royal Rumble. Even the Royal Rumble wasn't even the main event that year. That's when he was really Cena heavy in 2006.
Really Cena heavy? Like, how Cena heavy are we talking?
We're talking very Cena heavy, but because it's time for the main event. And the main event is for the WWE Championship. And obviously, since, Rey Mysterio won for the World Heavyweight, it's time for Triple H to tell Cena he's not as good as he thinks he is. And now, since you come over here with this hip-hop gimmick, I'm going to show you what's it to be a real champion. So...
Wait, was that the one where he was like, how am I supposed to be scared of you when you're saying that your move is popping up your sneakers?
Yeah.
That Triple H, okay.
Yeah, that Triple H. This is before he became DX Triple H. So, Triple H comes out as Conan the Barbarian. I'm dead serious. This is before the King of Kings. This is before, the Terminator. This is before the skeleton and the cape. This is Conan the Barbarian when he finally first debuted the King of Kings music. I believe it was.
That worked out for him.
Yeah, I was never a big fan of the King of Kings music. Were you?
I mean, it depends on the way he used it.
Okay.
Like now he uses it for the authority, which is, the King of Kings, and, the authority runs everything. So I kind of get why he comes out to that. Okay,
well then John Cena comes out to the 1920 Chicago gangster style, like Al Capone type, and one of the people that's on his car with the Tommy gun is CM Punk, along with a lot of other indie wrestlers. And John Cena comes out and shoots up everything. It's a good entrance. I remember back in the day when I was actually looking forward to John Cena coming out because he had the awesome entrances.
Which one is your favorite?
Well, my favorite John Cena entrance is probably the one from WrestleMania 25 when he had all the Cenas doing it. Oh no, hold on now. He had them doing the "You Can't See Me." I was like, that was a great visual. I enjoyed that one. I did enjoy the muscle car from WrestleMania 23.
Oh, he just basically broke everything.
Yeah, he just drove in. I was like, damn, is that him really driving? He comes in, breaks the glass. I thought that was cool. I did like the choir. My time is up, my time is now. I was like, I like the little choir, little soulful choir. I was like, okay, yeah. So those will have to be my favorite John Cena. I did like the Chicago gangster one from WrestleMania 22. But
you still ain't seen my favorite one yet.
What's your favorite one?
My favorite one is WrestleMania 24 when he had the band come out.
I knew it was gonna be the marching band. I'm about to say. Here go that marching band one when he had the marching band come out to play the song. I was just like,
man, that was nice.
I don't know. I had to pick the choir over the marching band. I had to pick the choir over the marching band. But for some reason, when all them Cenas came out to the Thugonomics music, and then they just turned and they did the "You Can't See Me," the Cena came down. So I was like, oh shit! I like the visual of that. And now this year he's gonna be in a mixed tag team match that requires none of that shit. So,
I mean, him and Nikki might come out in the Escalade or something. I don't know.
Shit. Who they? Will and Jada.
Nice.
So the match is basically a lot of holds. The crowd has turned on John Cena in this match and has cheered for Triple H, and it's actually very, very shocking, to say the least. And John, I think it kind of rattles John Cena. Triple H is still trying to keep in heel character, but the fans obviously turn on John Cena because they're realizing that John Cena at this time could not wrestle. He wasn't a great wrestler.
At that time.
Huh?
At that time, they realized it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, but right now, John Cena's a lot better than he was.
Yeah, well.
John Cena's putting on 5-star match, especially the United States Open Challenge. Yeah, Cena's great now. But back then, 11 years ago, Cena sucked.
I just don't like the way he sells sometimes.
Yeah, I don't like the way he sells. And I don't like his half suplex, half fisherman suplex. And this is back when he was using the STFU. So he locks that in on Triple H. Triple H is not able to use the sledgehammer, and he has him in there, and Triple H taps out. Everybody is surprised that Triple H put over Cena.
Yeah, especially he was right there by the ropes.
Yes, at WrestleMania. So, John Cena is left standing tall at WrestleMania 22. You're WWE champion. The crowd goes back to being mixed again, but I think they really want Triple H to win. But Triple H has better plans going on throughout the year. And that was big time. WrestleMania 22. By the way, if anybody got the DVD, this is back in the day when if you got a WrestleMania DVD, it was loaded with extras. No, I'm serious. It was loaded with extras because when I bought the WrestleMania 22 DVD back in the day, do you know what it came with?
What it came with?
It came with extras such as it came with the whole Saturday Night's Main Event show.
Oh, you mean those kind of extras? I thought you meant like extra stuff that came with it, like material.
Oh stuff. No! I'm talking about that on the disc. It came with the whole Saturday Night's Main Event. It came with the whole Hall of Fame ceremony, of course, and then it came with the pre-show match. It came with a couple other backstage stories. Stuff. It was loaded with extras. That's how it should be. And now I'm getting these WrestleManias on Blu-ray that has the ability to hold more on the disc, and they're giving me shit like a 1 minute story. They're not giving me shit other than the Hall of Fame. I'm just like, yo, can y'all load a WrestleMania? The biggest disappointment was WrestleMania 30. 30 years of WrestleMania, and y'all couldn't even put now one thing on that disc.
Yeah, well, they gave you the Hall of Fame. That's about it.
Yeah, that's about it. And I'm just like, right now, I don't even look for what's the special on DVD. I'm just like, can on the Blu-rays back in the day, even in 2008, 2009, when wrestling started going on Blu-ray, they used to give us the Raw and the Smackdown before the pay-per-view, the whole show.
Yeah, that's the one they had on 24.
Yeah, back to WrestleMania. I know, like in 2011, those Blu-rays. But it's all good. So, guys, that was WrestleMania 22. What is your final grade for WrestleMania 22?
I'll give it a B.
B, yes, I gave WrestleMania 22 a B+. It was a husky WrestleMania. A lot of matches did not get a lot of time. Cena and Triple H was the only match that got over 20 minutes. And Shawn Michaels and Vince McMahon got 18 minutes. The rest, everything else was kind of like below 10 minutes.
Well, they had to keep it moving.
No excuse. But you know what? We're going to see what happens this year. So, post your comments down below. You guys, you stay tuned for more retro reviews right here on Nerd Coalition. Hit the subscribe button because we got a lot more WrestleManias to talk about. And hopefully we're going to get into some of Primetime's favorites so he can sound a little bit more excited.
Well,
So, once again, it's not Deion Sanders, but it is Primetime.
Alright, guys.
And then stay tuned. Like I said, we depending on when this video goes up, we have a lot more WrestleManias to review. Who knows? I may actually review all of them. Who knows? But we got to see what's going to happen. So, once again, like, subscribe, and share, and we'll be right back with more going back in the day of retro reviews.